we're just gonna get right into it. MGK and Eminem have finally, I want to say, maybe concluded their beef. I didn't even know that him and G-Eazy were beefing, but MGK beef with everybody, y'all. Like, let's see, Post Malone, Yellow Wolf, G-Eazy, and the list goes on. After watching the Breakfast Club interview, I found out that basically Machine Gun Kelly is like the white boy beef-er. Any white boy rapper that's out right now, he got a beef with him, basically, or has had a beef with him. But the only one he seems to have taken seriously was Eminem. Eminem and MGK are a part of the same label, Interscope. This beef has been going on since Machine Gun Kelly's first hit. Yeah, I said it. His first hit. Like, this rap beef started in 2012 when MGK kind of made a reference to Haley, which was Eminem's daughter, and he didn't know how old she was, so he commented and was like, she dope. Eminem allegedly blackballed him because of that. So he had been blackballed until like 2015, but I mean, like, who was really missing his music? No shade, but who was really missing it? Then he subliminally disses him in this song called No Reason. It wasn't really subliminal. It was a diss. It was a shot. MGK responds with Rap Devil. It was a 7. It was a solid 7. And honestly, MGK is not a amazing rapper. He don't have bars on top of bars on top of bars. But he knew who he was coming for, so he put his A game together. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying, giving him no slack or anything, but he put his A game together. So I have to give his track like a 7. Kill Shot comes out, and then it's like, really? You should have kept that, bro. Really? You Eminem. Like, hi, my name, you. I don't even want to let y'all know what I gave it. A 4? I only gave it a 4 because I feel like he could do better. Like, you're Eminem. If you watch the Breakfast Club interview that MGK just did, MGK was on there and he was like, I'm an actor. I'm so much more. Like, his audience ain't even like hip hop at this point. MGK, like, we don't really care. Like I said, his audience isn't really hip hop. But for these last 3 weeks, he showed captivated hip hop mind, heart, and soul. The only person it seems like he was cool with was Mac Miller, God rest his soul. If I had to declare a winner, I would probably declare it MGK. But I love Eminem. But MGK? I mean, I grew up with Slim Shady, but MGK. There was something else that came up in that interview that, you know, kind of hit home. He's releasing a new EP called Binge, which is a great build-up for him for the hip-hop industry. He has some new music out. Hopefully it's good. He said he wasn't going to talk about his reasoning, really. He didn't want to really get into his reasoning for naming his EP Binge. But, I mean, like, come on. We already know, like, self-explanatory what it is. In that interview or whatever, he was saying some pretty heavy things about mental health and how he uses drugs to kind of get rid of it all, a coping mechanism.
Have you slowed down the drug use?
Absolutely not.
It's called Binge.
It's called Binge.
Doesn't sound like it.
I said, but to be honest, you know, the truth of the matter that might have come with explaining this EP, outside of the fact that there's angst, attitude, you know, sex, drugs, and 808s, like, other than the obvious, the breakdowns I'd like to give, I'm not gonna give out of respect for Mac.
And I was gonna say that with Mac passing.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell my truth.
Do you take it serious now, like, you know, because you never know.
Oh, my drug use?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, look, if it was gonna be a lesson learned, I might have learned it when it happened to Pete. The reality of situations is you can't, as a world, expect to break people down constantly and not expect them to want some type of escape. I don't have a mom I can call. I don't have a father I can call. I don't have my, you know what I'm saying? Like my aunt, who was the last thing that I had, is gone. Right?
Why you not go to a therapist?
You weren't taught. You in the streets. You weren't taught that that's okay.
Yeah, neither was I. But eventually,
I get it. I get it. I haven't made that. Sometimes comfort from humans isn't enough.
this is where most of the stigma comes from. And this is why people seek instant gratification on social media and everything else. When it comes to mental health in the music industry, or when it comes to mental health in general, the music industry kind of perpetuates this song and people use it to release because they can relate to the lyrics in the song, but they end up doing the call and response of that, and they end up doing drugs, sipping lean, and doing all of this for instant gratification. And it just I don't know, it made it really shaky for me when it comes to mental health in this industry, because he was just like so against it. And it was good to see the Breakfast Club kind of push it on him to say like, dude, you could die just like Mac Miller did. You need to reevaluate that. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Breakfast Club interview with MGK, check it out. If you haven't listened to MGK's new album, listen to it. But yeah, that's about it.